Hello everyone, this is a presentation for the International Joint Conference organized by Taylor's University and University of Kelania. This is a study on the perception about quality of urban life amid COVID-19. I am Ananya, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics. My co-authors are Dr. Mohammad Rokibul, Associate Professor, School of Business Administration, and Nafisa, undergraduate student. We all are from Eastern University, Chattogram, Bangladesh. As we all know, the Sustainable Development Goal are the core focus of United Nations, and Goal 11 focuses on making cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. But the resources exploited at the moment for the urban growth are 2 to 6 times higher than the sustainable level. But the sustainable urban growth and quality of urban life are closely needed. So a proper urban management is necessary, and it is also necessary to understand what factors are associated with the quality of urban life. Though during the COVID-19, there are more factors associated. So we'll study this quality of urban life and their perceptions to achieve our Sustainable Development Goal 11. Here we have considered the city of Chattogram, one of the major contributors for GDP of Bangladesh, which is also burdened with many problems such as solid waste management, water logging, transportation, and other problems which leads to health hazards. So we try to understand whether the residents of Chattogram are happy with their quality of life in the current situation, which factors influences most, such as environmental, social, or economical, and how the pandemic overall has influenced this quality of life, and what aspects actually needs more improvement. Within the literature review, we have seen that there are subjective and the objective indicators to understand the quality of urban life. Objective indicators refers to the exogenous conditions, how people are dealing with, or on what condition people are living with the macro variables. But the subjective conditions are actually necessary, and these indicators helps us to understand our perception about the objective situation that we are given with. If researchers wants to know how satisfied one is happy with the job and the working condition, it is necessary to understand subjective indicators rather than the objective indicators. And in the other literature review that has studied the quality of urban life in many other cities within the world that have also focused on the subjective indicators, such as the studies by Mridha and Moore, Sandia, Rezvani, Das, Lee, Mojumdar et al. Studied in different urban settings such as Dhaka, cities in Iran, cities in India and Taiwan. So with all these studies, we try to formulate a model where we try to understand quality of life as a dependent variable and the different variables under other dimensions such as economic, social, and physical environment, which are the 3 pillars of sustainability. Those variables we'll consider as independent variables. So our hypotheses are economic satisfaction, physical environment, social environment, whether they're positively related with quality of urban life, and whether COVID-19 is negatively associated with quality of urban life. Here we considered quantitative method, and we had a measurement model to test the reliability, validity of our data, and a structural equation model is also proposed to determine the importance of the variables to understand their impacts on quality of life. Primary data is collected, convenience sampling is considered due to the COVID-19 restriction. Closed-ended questionnaire was set up here, and the total sample size is 291. The demographic features are studied in terms of gender, age group, educational qualification, employment status, monthly family income, how long they lived in the city, housing category, and family members affected by COVID or not within this 1.5 years. Now we'll look at the economic condition, physical environment, social environment, COVID-19 impact on the perception of quality of life. They are which variables have constructed all these variables that's been mentioned within this slide. Now, whether all these variables and the data has the internal consistency or not is studied in terms of convergence score and the factor loading and AV, which all of these figures actually satisfies the condition within the data. Discriminant validity is also tested with the outer loading with the frontal record condition scores and the HTMT ratio. Variance inflation factor is studied to understand the multicollinearity within the variables. And all these are satisfied. So now we look at the model through the which is generated through the blindfolding in a smart PLS. Here, all the variables, the independent variables, social, economic, and physical environment, and COVID-19, they have statistically significant impact on the perception of quality of urban life, where physical environment has the strongest influence on the quality of life and social environment has the poorest impact. R square also satisfies the necessary conditions. So our discussion in conclusion, we want to focus that physical environment is the most important determinant. And according to some other studies of Chattogram and Dhaka, they also concluded that physical environment is one of the major determinants to understand the housing satisfaction. But some other studies in other countries, they say that the other components could be, other variables could be more important than the physical environment, but actually this is a bottom-up approach. So for our city, physical environment is most important, and also the participants that we had, they are mostly graduate and they are from the higher income group. So they focused more on the physical environment than the economic condition. Social environment is the third important determinant because COVID-19 has equal negative impact on this because people could not socialize due to these restrictions. So within our data, we had a homogeneous income group and who had higher educational background. So a further study can be done with different demographic cluster from heterogeneous age group. Subjective assessment can be associated along with the objective indicators to understand the development of the physical environment within our city. So for a sustainable urban planning for Chattogram city, physical environment need to be focused with a proper manner. And also with this COVID-19 restriction, which had negative impact on quality of urban life, that can be also addressed with proper manner. So these are the important findings from our study. So thank you everyone for listening to us. Thank you.